our friends and our family here today for us to remember some great things. And it doesn't matter what date it was, some memories to help each other kind of remember how so special that we love each other. But let me introduce myself so that I can introduce the rest of our crew here today with us. First of all, I am Coach T. We also have Coach Kim, Coach Letty, and Coach Jamie. And thank you, Miranda, on LinkedIn for joining in. And I have to share that too because we're on a couple of channels, guys. We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, and Kim and I on our YouTube channel. So, guys, definitely, we really appreciate you sharing this out to any one of your friends or family or colleagues, or if you're at work. I know you might be sneaking on, as they say, on the tip there, watching us. Let's share it out because someone can definitely value from this information we share. And just from our heart, we want to give our love, our talents, and our skill sets too. So I am Coach T. As you can see, my name is Terrell Sally Holloman. That's the reason why I say Coach T, because it's a lot simpler. I'm the one with the red glasses. The name of my company is Living, Loving You Well. I am definitely the founder, and I really love doing what I do. I really work with professional women and helping them heal their bodies from disease using their blood type so that they do not have to apologize for anything as they walk on this earth to get their health together. So next is my girl, Coach Kim. Go ahead, Coach Kim. Tell us who you serve and what you're about.
Hello, thank you so much. I normally don't say my company, but I'm going to follow you today. My company is Nickels and Dime Solutions, and we empower single moms through speaking, books, and coaching by bringing freedom to their finances in order to relieve them from financial distress.
Hey, everybody. Back to you, Coach T. Are you going in before I go, or do you need me to go now?
Go ahead, Coach Letty.
Hey
Go
everyone,
ahead.
I am Letitia, also known as Coach Letty. Everyone, I am a lifestyle coach and I'm a purpose strategist. I'm the owner of Royal Image Coaching and Consulting, where we have the honor and privilege to enrich the spiritual, personal, and professional development of professional women, entrepreneurs, and leadership. And what we do is help them to get to their transition of greater purpose by helping them to destroy those fears so that they can lead and thrive in love, unleash their greatness, and dominate in their purpose. Over to you, Coach T.
Hey everyone, I'm Coach Jamie.
Okay, Coach Jamie, let's hear from you.
Awesome. I'm Coach Jamie. I am the life coach for Christian teen girls, and I'm a little bit different because I serve Christian teens. And my heart is for this generation. My heart is to raise up teens that are strong in their walk with God so that they are out there conquering this world. And so my heart is to help them overcome any of the real life challenges that they're facing in a way that stays true to who God created them to be. That way, when they graduate high school, this world is not going to shake them. So that's a little bit about me.
Well, first of all, I am so excited that my girls are here rocking with me today. So again, you heard everybody and what they do and how they serve us here. But we're going to have a conversation. And, whenever I have a question or, you want to hop in, take off your mic and just kind of jump in. You know how we do, guys. You know how we've been on shows together before, so we know how we roll. But today we're going to talk about it's a December to remember. And the reason why Coach Kim and I, as most of you might know already, we've been doing this show almost 2 years now, Coach Kim, I believe it's almost 2 years now. We come on Tuesdays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 Central Time. And we have different topics that we talk about honoring our health because we know how important that is on a daily basis to keep our health together, especially as professionals, as moms, as leaders, as business owners, as the auntie, as the grandma, whatever, whatever title you have, we know we need to be healthy. And God tells us that all the time. And Coach Kim is so good and on point because she handles everything with finances, and that really helps us keep balance. But today I just wanted to kind of bring, because of the season and because of what's coming up for the regular calendar year 2024, it's a December to remember. And I wanted to start us off, if it's okay with you ladies. I want to start it off with a memory that really touched my heart now that I reflect on it, because as I was reflecting, I was like, gosh, I got a couple of stories I can be telling. But anyway, I'm going to start with this story that I remember back in 2010. Now, guys, that's like 13 years ago. I know it's a while back, and my children are young adults right now, but back then they were not. And back in 2010, I remember during this time of the season, my husband and I usually go over to his parents' house, okay? And we go on a like a Wednesday or Thursday, depending on what day of the week with regard to the holiday, meaning Christmas, the 25th. So at least 3 or 4 days before. This particular time, we had already been there for at least 2 days. And I remember the forecast had said that snow was coming in the northeast area. Well, honey, let me tell you, the snow really came. We had 30 inches of snow that particular holiday. So our intent usually is when we come over to see them on the 23rd, we usually leave on the 26th, maybe the 27th. But this time we couldn't even get out of the out of the apartment building because there was so much snow. We did not leave until after January 1st. So we had them for 7 days. Now you can only imagine being in a one bedroom apartment, or really condo, and you have two young people. You have his mom, you have his dad, and you have me and him. We had plenty of food. But I was really glad that my children, one is an avid reader. My daughter really loved all the books she got for that holiday. And my son kept busy with all the different toys he had. But it was good to have that time to really reflect and know that you really love each other so much that you can be together for 7 days without any drama. There was no drama. It was just love in that home. And I reflect on that time in particular because we lost his father to pancreatic cancer the next year around that same time. He got diagnosed like in July, August. Yeah, July, August, and he died November. I think it was November 11th, around that time, the next year. So reflecting on 2010 for me was really a December to remember because we were just there, we enjoying the food, enjoying each other's company, just loving on each other, just hugging on each other. And regardless of the snowfall that occurred of 30 inches from us getting from New York City, because that's where they lived at, all the way back to where we lived at in New Jersey, was really some kind of trial and tribulation to get back home. But it was still fun having those 7 or 8 days being with family, not even knowing that the next year he would no longer be with us. You know what I'm saying? So that was a December for me to continue to remember. And I keep that. I remember writing that in my journal that week. How I felt. It was like joy. It was like excitement. It was like, wow, I can't believe it snowed 30 inches. When was the last time that happened in Northeast? And you just saw the little people outside making the snowmen, having the snowball fights, and the total city was blanket of white snow. It was gorgeous. It was really gorgeous. A lot of people couldn't go to work, but it's really, really gorgeous. So that's one of my memories for December to remember that I wanted to share with everyone, to just take time this season to hug your people, to call your people, not text them, call them, or FaceTime them. Now we got phones that you can see each other, right? Or Zoom them if you can't be with them, but really take the time to tell people how much you care and love each other. And I have to say, I love each one of these ladies that are with us today. I could say something special about each one, but I'll leave that to later. So who wants to share December to remember with us? I just wanted to go. Go ahead.
Okay, I guess it's me. Wow, as you was talking, I mean, there's so many things. December to remember, and what I wrote down was, I guess, the acronym. I wrote HOPE. That's what I wrote down. I wrote down for December to remember. I wrote down the word hope, and why I put that down, because in this season there are a lot of firsts. I was just speaking to a long-term friend. This is her first Christmas without her husband. So a lot of people, and I'm not saying this to be sad, but hope brings you, it brings something in you that needs to come out. That, in this season, I'm going to say the H is for healing. It's okay. It's okay if it's your first, your second, your third. It's okay. And I think that you use that word age, and I was like, yes, we need to. And I'm not a hugger. However, I know when it's the right time for me to hug somebody. If y'all understand what I'm saying. I know when to do that. And there are some people that are going to need that this season. They're going to need a hug. And then outlook. How do we look at what is going on around us? There's a lot of different things, a lot of different people, but what is our outlook? Our outlook, what we see is different from everybody else's. I mean, you might have a group that's the same. So what are we looking at? Are we looking at like, wow, the temperature has dropped in Florida, and now I have to put a sweater on because it's a little cold outside. So how are we perceiving what's going on around us? And then the other thing is peace. Are we having peace in the midst of the chaos? And that's something that's only we can do it. Nobody else can bring us peace. We think other things, that next piece of pie, that next purchase we click on. We're not going to, on that online store, but we know the only thing really at the bottom line, only thing that gives us peace is Christ. And then the E, how can we encourage someone else? This is hope. We're talking about hope here in this December to remember. How can we encourage somebody else? I see this morning, I see this homeless lady. She's sitting outside and it's a little under 60 degrees. So it's a little cold for Florida. She has 2 blankets. And I'm like, and I've spoken to her before. And I'm like, okay, God, how can I help her? Because sometimes we're doing things, but we're not really helping. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, how can I help her? So how can I encourage her in the midst of her sitting outside? She has blankets. Maybe she needs something hot, So that's kind of where I am. I don't want to go too deep into that in this season, but there's people that need hope. So they need a hug. They need to know it's going to be okay. They need peace and they need encouragement. That's what I got for you.
I want to jump in. Yeah, I want to jump in on that, and you guys can jump in anytime, of course. But I was looking at it too, with we said to hope. I love that acronym on healing, outlook, peace, and encouragement. And I want to shout out to Christina and Coach April. Thank you for being on also. And anybody that's following us on YouTube. And thanks again for folks that are on LinkedIn. That is a big word during this season. Now, I recognize this is Advent, and Advent time, always brings down to, the 25th of December. And that's one of the words, right? Hope, peace, joy, and love, the big 4, right? We think about the big 4. And how can we, as women of God, and really show that to other people? And I believe that's really cool, Coach Kim, because you're talking about you see somebody else. What can I do for them? And that happened to me just today. I was walking past Walgreens this morning, and I'm going to myself, I see that woman outside, and I was like, gosh, I left my coat. There's a coat that I want to give somebody, right? And has the gloves to match. And I said, dag, I'm walking, and the coat is in the car. And I know by the time I try to get back home, she might be gone. But, the whole idea is the intent. What can we do to help another person realize there's still hope when they're feeling not their best that particular day, or even that particular week, or maybe even this season? So I really love that. And I believe Coach Letty want to jump in on that too.
Yes, I love that, because two things came to me in this when I was thinking about a December to remember. And the first one was a few years ago, the December that I had all my children at home, right? It's been a long time. I've moved and relocated in several places. I have 2 adult children, a teenager and an adolescent. So it was a long time that we all were in the house together for the holiday. And so that was just such a December to remember, because this year it's not that fulfilling, because this is the first year that I have to celebrate without them. Right? So the fact that, God gave us that moment to reflect on and say, remember, don't worry, because you will get back to that. So for me, the holidays have been a little challenging, being separated from my children in this way. And so, but when I listened to Coach Kim and I thought about the hope and the encouragement to give to another person, it made me think about a time just this December when I was going into the gas station and it was pretty cold that morning. And so I was getting ready to take my son to school, and I was like, "Hey, you want to get some hot chocolate?" He's like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "Yeah, let's go get some hot chocolate." And as I'm getting out, there was a homeless guy standing outside, and I'm thinking, like, "Oh my God, it's cold out here." So I go in. I didn't have much, but I was like, "Oh, I have enough to give him so he can get maybe a cup of hot chocolate, tea, or something to get him hot, warm him up while he was out there." And so I come out there, and he's not there, and I'm like, Lord, I'm just looking around. I'm like, oh my God. And then maybe a week, not even a week, not even close to a week later, someone had blessed me, and I was getting ready to go pick up my son from school, and I'm at the traffic light, and who's about to come across the street but that man that I was getting ready to give that that seed to for the hot chocolate. But this time I had more than what I had that moment, and so I was able to give that to him, and I was so thankful to God that He brought him back around, and I was able to even give him something to possibly get him something to eat, and I thought about how why not encourage him with Christ, and so as I was giving it to him, it made me think about when the disciples were at the gates, and He's like, you know money I don't have enough to give you, but what I do have to give you is Christ. But in the midst of the exchange, I was just encouraging him and praying God's blessing over him. And when I tell y'all, like that made my whole entire day because I was like, God, you're so faithful. And we never know how He wants to use us that can, one, open up healing, right? That can give someone a different outlook about the love of God, that can even bring the peace that could be from in their mind from the things that are going around them that's chaotic, and then just being able to give that word of encouragement. So as we all been sharing, it just made me reflect back on that, and so it took the focus off of me having to think about what the season was going to look like for my family, but then now transferring that over into giving to somebody else who was in a different situation and helping them to have hope for the season as they continue to go on about. So, yeah, this was really good. Thank you for this, Coach T.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times we don't think when we're in a situation, however God has us, and Coach Letty, I am so, oh gosh, I pray each and every day, as you continue your journey where you're located now, and I know God has you, but we know as a fact that sometimes we take for granted what we have. We do, because like I said, we didn't even know the next year that my father-in-law would go home to the Lord, right? So you take for granted the people that are around. You take for granted the fact that you can go to the grocery store and or walk, or the fact that you can drive. I mean, there was a time in my life I took for granted my health, and I didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? It was totally different for me, and I had to overcome it and get through that. But we want to remember that Jesus is in our life each and every day. I know nationally, worldwide, here in America, it's a big commercial thing, unfortunately, but we know the reason why we are really celebrating Him is because He came into our lives to save us. And we want that for you too. Um, and we want that for you too. So we're just really remembering how we can serve each other while we're here, right? Whatever time He gives us, how can we serve somebody else? How can we encourage somebody? How can we help them heal? How can we have a different opportunity, a different outlook, or give them joy, or bring them peace, or bring them love? How can we do that? And I believe, just like you said, a word, or coffee, or just giving somebody a smile. I do that often. I give people smiles, and sometimes they might not smile back, but I know that's from my heart, because I genuinely want to say hello to you. I genuinely want to know that you're okay. So, yeah, Coach Jamie, let's hear from you.
Yeah, I love this December to remember. I think I just go back and I think about, Coach Kim was talking about hope. And that's exactly what this season is about. And there's so many things that I remember this December. Just a couple weeks ago, there was a girl in England who was listening to my podcast and gave her life to the Lord. And England is not a place where there are a lot of Christians. And she was telling me she even brought her Bible to school, and everybody's like, "What is that?" And she's like, "How do I answer?" And so I love like the excitement, like she's making a difference. Like this is like God is just doing amazing things. But then I also thought about when my kids were younger, we didn't have a lot of money at all. Like we barely got by. It was only by the grace of God. And we were just like God was just so good. But I remember one Christmas, like we didn't even have money to give them any gifts. But like the one thing that we did do, and I think it transformed our lives. And now God has brought us to a different place, and we're prospering. And I'm just so thankful. But that Christmas, I look back and I remember what we did was we made a family, like, let's celebrate Jesus together. Let's make this like a family that's like a strength in our family. And like that was an experience for that Christmas. And I remember that Christmas, and I'm like, today my kids are 16 and they're 15. And today it's still an experience for us. I mean, like God is like, both of my kids love God. And I'm like, that's what really matters. It doesn't matter what you have or what you don't have. What matters is what difference are we making where we're at with what God has given us. And so that's what I think of.
Yeah, that's powerful, Coach Jamie. You think about it, like you said, you didn't have much, but you guys made it a traditional family where you just literally praised him. You just literally made that a tradition, and I believe a lot of people could learn from that. Can make some changes if that's their focus. And make some changes, because we know, unfortunately, a lot of young people, and you know that by being in the teen, that's your ministry, is your teens, that how so many different things are coming at them and trying to figure out this walk, that they're totally blindsided or distracted, and really not getting what they need. And I really think so much that you do what you do, because it takes a lot of heart, it takes a lot of courage, it takes overcoming, it takes resilience to get through to this particular generation. And you're doing it, girl. I mean, your conference you talked about, I know we talked about it offline, but she had a conference, guys, in October. She had like 40 teens coming and making their lives to Jesus. And that is fantastic. That's just like blowing my mind away right now, you know. And it's all about honoring. And when we talk about honoring our health, that still comes under that. Is how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel in terms of what you're doing each and every day to secure your mind and your body and your soul? It's so important. All these things go together. People don't think it do, but they do connect. And when they're off, you definitely feel it. So I want to thank you so much, Coach Jamie. And I think Coach Kim wanted something. Did you want to shout out something else? Go ahead, hon.
Yes. I was thinking, and it's not just for this season. However, for those might want to take the opportunity to create memories. That's what we need to do. We need to create memories. What do you want to see in your families? This weekend, I have my daughter and the grandbabies and the grandson. We're going actually on a run. We are doing a run. A fun run we're doing, okay? A fun run. So that's something that we're creating. We can take pictures. We can, and print it, okay? Get the pictures off the phone, y'all. Print it, put it up, something that perhaps next year or 6 months from now, you can say, oh, wow, remember, or 10 years from now, remember when we did that? We all dressed up. It was a little chilly outside, but we did it. We didn't come in last, but we didn't come in first. Something just to have fun about. Last month, I did painting. I set the table up. My daughter and I watched YouTube to how to figure out how to do the paint pour, and we did our own thing. So it's time for you to create memories, and it does not take much. It could be a nature walk, okay, a scavenger hunt. What color leaf can you find outside? I mean, you don't have to make it so deep. So I just want to share that in this December to remember, because that's what we need to do. We need to create what we're not seeing around us. Let's create it. That's all.
Yeah, I love that idea, and I love the paint part. I haven't done paint by colors in a while, so that's a great idea. Just to even do it in your house. I know a lot of them have them online, and you can go and do the things. But that's a great idea because just even last weekend, my daughter was over. Um, she had came to church with us for a show, and I cornrowed her hair. I have not done that since she was like maybe 8, 7. And now it's 20 years later, and I'm braiding, I'm corn rolling her hair. So these are moments like you're talking about, Coach Kim, to create those memories of things that even when they're older, or you got grands, or you got good friends or cousins or whatever, to create those moments and memories. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't have to cost you anything. It could be some things very, very simple that you can do together to reflect and create some kind of memories that you want to have and keep with you. Go ahead, Coach Letty, because I see she ready too. Go ahead, girl.
That's something how you reading me on this screen. And I was just, as Coach Kim was sharing about creating the memories, and what Holy Spirit began to speak to me is how Jesus came into the earth as our hope of glory. He was the expression of God's love to us in this season. And so as we, whoever that may be, if you are in your family a representation of Christ, the hope of glory, who came into the earth to spread love, to bring peace, to bring joy into our homes and into our lives, and be that for your family this year, this season, and create the memory, right, that you can look back on and you can see the expression of the love, the peace, the joy you share, even in the time of of a loss. Not just looking, not allowing the enemy to draw you into the loss, but really remember the life, right? As we celebrate the life of Christ, just celebrate the life of that loved one, and maybe create a memory around that loved one, something that they loved and enjoyed to do. Maybe I remember one Christmas with my husband's family, we played charades, right? That was, I mean, it was crazy because a whole bunch of adults playing charades out. That was very interesting, but it was very fun. But I'm just saying, like, things that it's a game, something that you can create with your loved one in your family, and really be able to capture that, and allow that to be in the memory of whoever that may be. For me, December um, has grown to be better because I lost my dad some years ago, before, right before Christmas, as we were just rebuilding our relationship together. And so I try to think of other things as the honoring of that, so that we don't allow the whole emotional aspect of that time to grip us and steal that part that we can really overcome, right? And really allow the memory to live and to share and express that with one another, and so that we can just really come into the unity and the bonding that is meant for us and for our families during the season, and in this time of December to remember. So that's what I wanted to share. Thanks, Coach T.
Yeah, I see we have few folks watching. Can you guys do us a solid and put in the comments? What are some things you remember sharing, some memories with us, so we can read it out and shout it out? Thank you, Coach Vani, for showing up, and thank you, Comita, for being on here too. Yeah, because like you said, you remember doing charades. I mean, like you lost your dad and I lost my father-in-law. It's I don't think about it as a sad thing. I think about it as a joyous thing. So when this season comes around, you remember all the good stuff, especially when you're together, right? You remember the funny jokes they did, the way he used to walk, how he used to talk to the our children, and just some things we kind of keep along the way. And some new things we started doing is dressing in these cute little pajamas, So that's the new thing now we're doing. So you find new ways of creating memories and keeping some traditions the same, but it's still the whole idea of the hope, the peace, the love, and the joy. And we want this to transcend past December. We want it for every month, right? January through December, feeling those four areas of our life, and whatever way we can do it, it totally be awesome. Is there anything else you want to share? Anybody else? Before I start talking about each one of you. Anything else? Okay.
I'll
Okay.
share just
So go ahead, Coach Jamie.
Yeah, just real quick, I'll share, talking about creating memories. One thing that we've done for our family every year in the last several years is we buy board games. And like, that's what we do for Christmas. Like, that's the biggest part of our Christmas budget is like, how can we continue to build those relationships? And like you said, it doesn't even have to cost any money, but it's about those memories. And so I love that. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, that's interesting because when I was younger, my parents bought a home, I believe when I was like in the third grade. And after a while, by the time you meet all the people and everything like that, uh, we started having more. And then because three girls, so as we started dating, and then you have the guys come over, and before you know, my mother's house would be an open house around the holidays, and we used to do that. We used to have all these board games, and the basement is kind of dedicated to that. And you just think about all these great times that you have in your life, to reflect on and feel good about. So I just want to kind of remind people of that too. And then I believe, Kaminta said something. She said she tells her grandchildren how we would sleep under the tree until Christmas Eve. Now we do gingerbread men or houses every year. That's so cool too. Gingerbread houses and stuff like that. I haven't thought about that. I remember there were nights when we had a tree that my husband and I would stay up 24 hours and just sit there and look at the lights. After you have finished, I mean, literally, we have finished wrapping everything. We just sit there and look at the lights. And before you know, we were sleeping. And then we're like, oh gosh, we got to get up and get into bed before these little people come downstairs. So it's just all kinds of stuff you remember during this holiday season and stuff like that. But I want to talk about each and every one of us here before we close out. And then everyone's going to share how you can get in contact with them and stay in contact with them for what they do. So first, I'm going to go to Coach Kim. Coach Kim, oh my gosh, this woman is my right-hand person here. She is like my accountability partner, nth time, and she always has my back and keeps the truth to me. I tell you, she always tells me the truth, even sometimes when I don't want to hear it, but she tells me the truth. I love her ability to be very frank and straight to the point and to the root cause of what needs to be going on. So that's my girl. Coach Letty. Listen, Coach Letty is a fireball. First of all, she's a person that is totally, definitely anointed by the Lord and has the prophetic gift to share exactly what he's telling her to tell you. And that's a light that's always shining regardless of where she's located in this world. And she's going to be a blessing because I know her book is going to come out soon, and she's going to be a blessing to so many people. So a dear friend of mine, and that's another one of my girls there too. And then Coach Jamie. I mean, I remember when we first met Coach Jamie, we really didn't know which way Coach Jamie, we didn't know how to kind of figure out her personality, her style. But after a while, we kind of got to know her a little bit better. And I said, she is such a nice, quiet, calming force with a bunch of, you haven't seen the whole game together yet. But when we're all together, Coach Jamie is like that quiet, right, calming force, and she just kind of lets you know, okay, it's all right, things will be okay. And I'm really proud of her with regard to God coming to her when she was younger and how she changed her life around her and her husband. And now she has two beautiful teenagers, and look at them, and the teens that she's working with. I'm telling you, these teens are going to go out and they're going to do really great things. And then she has a podcast, guys. If you do not know about her podcast, check out her podcast. I'm sure she'll tell you about it. But she has over 200,000 downloads now. It's probably more than that by now. That's the last time I remember. But each one of these ladies on this panel with me today have a part in my life that I believe I wouldn't have been able to do the things that I've done over the last 2 years without them. So I want to say that, first of all. I was able to meet them through a group we called the Good Morning Kingdom Show. And we have been family ever since. And that's through Clubhouse. That was, that was definitely ordained by God for us to be together. So I just wanted to share that to the world, to give you your flowers while I can, and I have my voice to say it, because I know over the last couple of days something was happening trying to take my voice, but I wasn't letting that happen. I wasn't letting that happen. So we are here today. So I want to give each person here the opportunity to share what they got going on right now. Maybe something coming up in the future that you guys can participate, any offers that you're doing, or how they can just get a hold of you on the social media. So go ahead, Coach Kim, and then Coach Letty, and then Coach Jamie.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for the words of enlightenment. But to make it real quick, I have the financial exam. And a financial exam is compatible to, when you go get your, or at least you should, your annual exam, like your checkup, you see how things are going. So that's what I have available right now. You get to identify your strengths and your weaknesses, what's really going on, what you need to target, what you need to work on. And that can be found on my website, nickelsanddimesolutions.com. Thank you.
I just wanted to give Coach T some flowers, and excuse my noise in the background, y'all. Just give her some flowers for just being the awesome woman that she is, woman of greatness, because y'all know that is my thing. And just watching what God has been doing in her life these last 2 years has been such a joy. And I thank God that He found me entrusting and honorable to be able to witness all these amazing ladies. And I love that. Who would have known an audio app like Clubhouse would join us together and, really make us family. And I thank God for this, because it would be challenging to be on the journey that I'm on in this season in my life if I did not have these amazing kingdom sisters being Aaron's and hers and holding up this girl's arms to keep me grounded, keep me encouraged, keep me in truth in every form of fashion of support on all levels. And so I love y'all and so grateful to God that He allowed our paths to connect and join together. So I just wanted to share that. I am on all social media channels. If you want to follow any of the work that I'm doing, I would invite you to an experience with me that you can make an appointment for a call. I'm just really excited because I do have an upcoming women's mentorship coming up called Women of Greatness, Glow, and really empowering women to come together into the greatness that God has called them into, and that they can be transformed into the radiant glow of God's glory in the earth that He is calling them to in their lives. And so I'm just really excited. And I just thank God for us being able to have these moments to come on these platforms and just share the love amongst one another and with the world. Back to you.
Now, Coach Letty, I don't think you shared with them where they can actually find you. You said where, but you didn't say who.
Sorry, y'all. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm actually on Twitter. Most of my social media handles are Love with Letty or by my full name, Letitia Tate. So either one of those, you'll find me. And I'm actually on YouTube as well. I have a YouTube channel, so you can also find me on YouTube.
Just had to make sure you got it all out there. I'm so thankful for all you ladies. I'm so thankful for having this conversation today. You all are family, and somebody group I had prayed for a very long time. So I'm so thankful for you all. I again am the coach for Christian teen girls. My heart and my goal right now is reaching those Christian teen girls. And so you can find me on my podcast. I am also a life coach, so I also do one-on-one coaching, and I have a coaching community, which is kind of like a social media alternative. And so it allows girls to come in there and to be surrounded by other girls who love God and grow together. And so a couple of different options that I have. You can find out all about me at uncommonteen.com.
Well, that's awesome. And I'll finish up how people can get a hold of me. You can see at the top is livinglovingyouwell.com. That's my website. I am a coach, I'm an author and a speaker, And I am just putting up here a link for directly ordering my new book called Embarrassed to Empower, a Healing Lupus Story. And I'm really excited about this book. And I know it's changing lives already with the folks that already purchased it and read it. And I'm already getting reviews with regard to it. So I'm really excited for what God has had my life go to in order for me to present what I need to present in terms of healing, in terms of your health. Also, you can reach me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course the YouTube channel. And my name is usually everywhere, Terrell Sally Holloman, or I believe it's a little bit different on YouTube. It's Coach T at Living Loving You Well 5190. So those are the main three channels I'm on. I'm still also coaching, and I also am doing health consults. So either way, just go to the website, and that's another way you can get a hold of me too. And what else I got going on? Oh, retreats I'm doing too. So so I got a little bit of everything going on. So in order for us to move forward with regard to our next session, guys, our next session is in January. And by then we will pull in 2024. So come back. I'm sorry, 26 is another one, right? Yeah, we have to 26 and then, of course, January. But this one, I just wanted to, like I said, give us the time to be together and really share some things in reference to, memories of December to remember. So I want to thank all my guests today, Coach Letty, Coach Kim, and Coach Jamie. You have made this unbelievable. And how you doing, April? That's my bonus daughter, just got in on LinkedIn. You just made my day. You made my week. You made my month. This might be something, like I said, we might be doing this once a month or once a quarter where we get all our team together and talk about the things. So, guys, be good and just have a blessed week. Travel safe. Hug someone, give someone a call, send someone a card, tell someone that you love them. Okay. I love each and every one of you. I love you, Coach Kim. I love you, Coach Letty. And I love you, Coach Jamie. And we're going to end this show, and we will see you again next week, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you guys be blessed. Bye bye. We're ending the show now. Bye bye now.